The garage is a mess. There hasn't been a car in here for months. I'm gonna clean this motherfucker real good in preparation for the car to come home. And it is coming home, and it's gonna park right here, right where the Land Cruiser was. Now, because I can't drive it, I gotta build this. Cut a lot of stuff when I edit, and let me cut back to my previous video real quick. And I am fat as fuck. And it's the truth, and I really need to work on that. And I've been going to the gym, and this is not gonna turn into some bullshit gym vlog. I've been traveling with my buddy Tom all of 2025 doing grid life, and he was just at Road Atlanta for the NASA race. Cut to that. Oh! Yeah, there you go, Miata. More and more race stuff than I ever have before, and it's time to be a race car driver. And that's why I built a sim rig, because like fuck, I gotta learn how to drive because I can't drive this fucking car yet. Oh my god, that's heavy. For the rear. I don't have any way to bend 1/4 inch, 2 inch wide plate. I gotta go to a bender. I can't just heat that up. If I had oxyacetylene, I could bend it. I don't really want to bend it that way either, which means I gotta go to GA's house and use his swag off-road 20-ton Harbor Freight press bender. One day. Okay, just feel incredibly high and way forward. It almost feels like I'm too far over. This feels very Italian. If you've never driven a Ferrari Testarossa, it's like this. Or maybe it's like this, actually. I don't, it's been a while. And the shifter's definitely here though, right underneath your leg. I ended up sort of redesigning this between the last scene and this scene, and sometimes it's better just turn the cameras off and work. I'm adding this bar here. It overlaps by half, so I'll get a lot of strength. Alright, this is still... Ow, fuck, that's still hot. PRP racing harnesses. It's a 5-point harness. These are big, big, big fucking harnesses.
Breathtaking. It is absolutely stunning.
A billion times better than I even thought it would be.
It's so weird not to have a steering wheel like immediately in front of you. So this will be the first time I've belted in, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, literally. This will be the first time I've belted in, literally. Obviously, I don't have shoulder straps yet. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like this kind of stuff, probably 40 pounds right here. Not a gym vlog, but I am working on it actively. Believe me, by the time this car's done, George Clooney over here. I may have made some progress here. I did put a second new mass airflow in it. It still misfires and bogs real bad on like light acceleration, and I keep getting knock sensor codes. Knock sensors are new, but they're cheap Chinese shit. The seats are in. I spared you watching me install the second one. And by the way, the harnesses are just sitting there. I got knock sensors for this thing. I'm gonna put knock sensors in it, new ignition coils. Mass airflow seemed to make it run better. If this thing doesn't start to run good, I'm not gonna go through the trouble of like turbo and standalone and all that stuff. For a third of the price, we'll just LS swap it, and then I'll save this for a rock buggy. Knock sensors are new and the coils are new. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't like how much oil's on that. Put a little piece of plastic thing in there that's supposed to call like a throttle lock or something. It's supposed to give you like a full throttle from zero throttle position, but it doesn't. If you don't know, this is some traction control throttle cable. Doesn't actually move the throttle blade. It moves the sensor, which is what this is. Oh, it does look fucked up. I probably am missing about 20% of my throttle. So I thought, you know, I have steel and a welder. I'm gonna go ahead and fuck with this here, and I'm gonna weld, let me get that in focus. I'm gonna weld a little extension onto this that replaces where this would sit, and it's gonna be a little bit longer. Oh yeah, there's, holy shit. There's absolutely no slop in that now. Oh, look at that. I should have showed you before, my bad. So with that little plastic puck, I got about that much. I just welded that thing on there. And assuming I didn't kill this sensor, I now have real actual control of my throttle blade via cable. This is all in no particular order. Roll cage, ride height, fuel system, bumpers, body kit. When I have to do kind of small bullshit projects for like a week or two, I went ahead and bought a big fuel pump assembly with a Hellcat pump in it, PTFE lines, a big fancy 2JZ rail, a pressure regulator with the damper and all that stuff in hopes that maybe I can just wick up the fuel pressure a little bit and eliminate this lean running problem that I have. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not, but it's my last ditch effort to get this to run good in stock form. And if it doesn't, and honestly I don't really expect it to work, I will then have at least a big fuel system for either a year from now a full 2JZ build, or maybe like 3 or 4 months from now an LS swap. I almost wonder if I have something going on with the wiring, but I don't know. I've never seen wiring failure or high resistance in a wiring cause just a lean condition across the board. I just don't. I'm at a loss. So if this big boy fuel system doesn't fix this car, then I will I'll flip a coin for LS or JZ. That's how it's going to go. However, if it does make the car run properly, we're going to put the CD in it and manual swap it like real soon. So fingers crossed, $2,000 on a fuel system means I get to spend another $5,000 or $6,000 on the transmission. I need these to survive. Oh, so I don't want to just hammer on with an impact. Oh, that one's loose as shit. Got a little peanut butter blaster here. In case you haven't really like figured it out yet, I'm gonna make a bash bar with the old, thing here to jack point. Real important on a drift car because you're gonna be, well, maybe not this car, but most drift cars change tires a lot. That PB blast sat on there for a couple of days and I was able to break those nuts loose without destroying the threads. Made some mounting plates. I drilled holes in a piece of square plate. Did you need to see all that? Probably not. So I'm gonna put these on here. I made these things, 2 of these. These are thinner test pieces because I don't have a ton of the thick stuff left. Proof of concept, but in real steel that I could load so I can see, make sure this works. So I'm gonna weld these. Should have plenty of oomph to hold this. Also, those ends of the frames are at an angle, so if I welded it all up solid, it would never come off. The studs, instead of sticking straight back, they're slightly out. By the end of the weekend for me, and like 3 minutes from now for you, this will be done. It'll be okay, it's only fucking 35 degrees today. Probably should have done this before I put it all together. So you get that just rotate. Oh yeah, see, this is why this is here. I haven't gotten quite all the slack out of it yet. Alright, that feels like we're finally getting some pressure on it. So I want to go 10 degrees here and then go 10 degrees there. So I've got a little dial here and I'm going to go to 12 and then it should spring back a couple degrees. So there's 10. There's 12. And it's sprung back to like 10.5. I'm gonna try to slide this back in about an inch from where it started before. And then I can rotate this back to 0. And that should keep my bend on the same plane as that one. Yeah, it definitely changed the position. It did a good job too. It's like right more or less where I wanted it. I'm not 100% sure that's gonna fit under the bumper. Notching it will cut its mounting depth down too. It's one of the greatest tools. These guys I know are going to be a problem, but I'm going to try it anyway. So if I take that 1 inch and the ends of the tubes, to trim the ends a hair more, and rotate this lower part pretty much to the body. Something tells me I need to stock up on hole saws. I didn't record any of that. That was fucking wonderful. So what I didn't record was me tacking on these inner plates here. Ouch, they're hot. So the tube is now tacked together with the full size, full thickness plates. That's the best fit I've had so far. That's getting fucking tacked in place. Like we talked about earlier, sometimes you just have to turn the camera off and work. I've got the bumper on now, which I guess it's kind of always going to be there. This little guy, actually that's the only piece that's tacked in. Let me pull this bumper off real quick and let me show you what this bumper looks like. Turns out my tubing notcher is like 0 is actually about 10 degrees. This piece here I had to fit about probably literally 15 times before I figured out that my notcher isn't square. So I was cutting a 45, but it was actually 55, and no wonder it never fit. Anyway, so I got a big bash bar here. It's it almost feels like a front bumper on an off-road truck, but upside down. So it was kind of nice to actually build a bumper. I was going to do that on the Land Cruiser, but I never got around to it because, you know, sold it. So this one's stuck about 1 inch below the bumper itself, maybe 1.5 inches. And this one's going to be 5 inches below the bumper, which means it's going to stick probably 3 inches below a body kit. I don't see myself buying a body kit anytime soon. Since this is a jack point, let's jack this motherfucker up and see what happens. Well, I'd say that works. I can't tell from where you're sitting, but from where I'm sitting, I don't even see anything slightly move it up here. Cool.